here, and we're going to get started. So last week was about challenge groups and your niche market. We ended up not having a call because it wasn't working out for a couple of the coaches. So I did make a recording talking a little bit about challenge groups, and I posted a couple presentations in the group that you can watch too that were done at our actually annual conference that were done by other coaches, and I thought they were really valuable. So I put them in there as just something to watch. Ken, did you have a chance to watch any of those?
Yeah, I think I watched all of them.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you take anything from them?
Yeah, I took a lot. Don't put pictures of a Shakeology bag on Facebook.
Well, you probably appreciate that though.
I do.
Yeah, the thing is that, okay, so every year there is a coach annual summit, and it's in Nashville this year. So we're going to actually talk a little bit about that tonight, but it's going to be in Nashville in July this year. And there are presentations. And the cool thing is if you can't make it, they record all the presentations from like 2015 and 2014. So that was actually a 2014 presentation. So if you go in your coach online office, if you're looking for more personal development and different training that corporate offers, we do incorporate some of that into the Coach Basics, but it's a lot of additional stuff. You can go through there, and there is just a wealth of information. And the people that are presenting these, doing these presentations are all successful coaches. So it really is dynamite training. And they've paved the way, you know, they've been through it. They know what works, and they are just sharing their information. So, as far as the challenge groups go, just a little bit on that, everybody in the organization does theirs a little bit different. And I think that that's what's super cool about this, is because you can really get creative and you can cater it towards your market. So I have provided curriculum for you guys that has been created from our team and various teams in the organization, and they've been put together in a number of different documents. These are constantly evolving and changing, and my recommendation to you is to kind of look through them. When you start running your own challenge groups, sort of morph your own document, your curriculum from the ideas in here, and then make sort of your favorite challenge group. So for instance, when I started, I did a lot of, I didn't do a lot of my own. I just kind of put my own voice to the curriculum that I was given. But over time, as I've run challenge groups and what my market needs and wants and needs to see, I kind of cater it a little bit. And so sometimes the time of year too. So for instance, we have the holidays coming up, right? So, or, you know, let's say last week with Thanksgiving. So my Thanksgiving post in the morning, I'm going to teach them a little bit about, okay, how can I get through the holiday while still having a good time, but not feeling guilty, right? So I'll give a few tips about that, and that's specific to that time period. For instance, in my groups with my market, we have, and I mean, it's a lot of people's market too, but one thing that I talk a lot about is the scale. Women are obsessed with the scale, and it doesn't move, and we get frustrated. And so there's a lot of posts that I've created for that specific topic. So that's just an example of things that I have seen in my challenge group. So again, it's really cool because you can do it however you want. What I have found, and I shared this in the video, is that my challenge groups work best if they're in 30-day increments. When I very first started, I did 90-day challenge groups, and it was really tough to keep people engaged for 90 days. Now, people will stay engaged. It seems kind of crazy, but if they're in 3 different challenge groups, I don't know if it's just that energy kind of gets revived. So what we have done is we've created like a new challenge group, and we do a week of preseason. And again, that is completely up to you how you want to do that. We like the preseason just because you can start, like, so let's say for the preseason, you give a final date that they can order, but you can even start your challenges a little bit before that and put prospects in there and just start getting the hype up. Like, get your customers that already ordered, get your prospects into the group. You can create the group And then you can start just kind of advertising a little bit in the group and kind of talk like who got their shake, let's share some recipes. So you kind of get people excited, and then a prospect can actually see what is kind of happening and what it's about. And it may be a reason why they continue forward. For my challenge groups, and I think I mentioned this on the video, I require Shakeology and a Beachbody program. I personally believe that you need to be compensated for the time that you're giving to these people. So for one thing, you want them to be your customer and purchasing from you. So you are giving them you're giving them your time, which is money. The other thing with Shakeology, the reason why I require Shakeology, it's because I know that if they are drinking Shakeology, that they are at least getting one meal that is absolutely nutritious, and it's going to help them on their journey. It's going to help them curb cravings. It's going to give them the nutrition they need. It's going to detox their system from any of the bad food that they're taking. As far as the Beachbody program, I require that because I know these programs. I know that they're foolproof if you follow them. Each program comes with a specific fitness guide. Each program comes with a nutrition guide. So it's really just foolproof if they follow it. Now, Ken, for example, he does a lot of his own training. He does a lot of running. He's a personal trainer. You may want to run your challenge groups differently. Your challenge groups maybe be doing the performance line. Like everybody's drinking Hydrate when they're working out. They're doing the protein replacement, and they are drinking Shakeology. But my advice to you is if you are going to invest a lot of time into people, you definitely want to be compensated for that. Again, this business is about helping people, but you're offering a service. So
yeah, I thought about that a little bit too. And I'm doing for the marathon, I'm doing a free training group that's not really connected to Beachbody. It's an opportunity to introduce the people that I would be giving. Every year I give away a free training program, right? Mm-hmm. That's a super low key, easy to manage group. And I thought about, do you do the same thing with the Beachbody stuff or not? And then, the more I thought about it today, and I was listening to the Wake Up Call about objections with what's her name, the super rock star
is it Melanie?
Melanie, yeah. So, and she was talking a little bit. I think it was on that call. I listened to so many things.
Yeah.
Somebody said something about, yes, I require this for my challenge groups, and then I also have just kind of like a small group, not a small group, but I have another group that's not a challenge group, and it's not one that I don't invest a lot of time to. But as long as you have a free Beachbody account, you can go into that group, and I have some motivational stuff automatically updating in there, but I'm not logging in every single day and spending hours on it. I'm like, I like that idea. That sounds, like that might be something. And then 9 times out of 10, one of those people turns into a customer.
Exactly. So I to be honest with you, I kind of got away from that, but I also have one of those groups, and that's just my own fault. But what I did when I first started was it was kind of my way to get people to sign up for a free account with me. And so it was like, hey, listen, if you don't want to be in my challenge group, why don't you just create your free account? I have this accountability motivational group. Again, I'm honest with them. Like, I don't post as much in there as I do with my challenge groups, and there's no requirement or participation, but it'll be a resource for you. Why don't you create your free account and I'll add you? So the other thing you can do in there is just always advertise for your next challenge group, because that person that you talk to may be ready next month. They may not be ready now, but they're ready this month. And that way there's no obligation. They're getting a free account. You don't have to spend too much time on it. And then, they'll absolutely convert. But with that being said too, it is a good idea to run like free monthly groups that are just a few days long. Like last month I did I don't know what it is about crock pots, but people love to be in a crock pot group, like for whatever reason, women anyways, like not sure about your market, Ken, but I'm like, I'll run a free crock pot group. And I got like 150 people. Like it went viral. It's crazy. People love crock. I don't know. So you could do like a free crock pot. You could do, some people are doing like free, holiday cocktail group. Like I'll give you free clean holiday cocktails. Or my coach did a Thanksgiving group, like a clean eating. She shared all these Thanksgiving recipes that were easy to clean up. You could do a squat challenge, an ab challenge, a running challenge. Just a free way to kind of network yourself, get people pumped up, get people. So you're always wanting to add value. Like that's the biggest thing that you need to do as a coach, is to just always be adding value. And that's how you bring people to you. When you can genuinely help them and add value to their life, they're more likely to connect with you, trust you, build a relationship with you. And then
that was another big thing I took from the call too, because like, yeah, I know obviously like value is very, very important, but when she was talking a little bit about, I guess in my mind too, like I was, thinking about how am I gonna spin this to different, people as well? Because like I have all of, I know, and when I don't mean to say spin it like negative connotation, right? But
yeah,
like spin it like so that I can get all of the great things I want to say out without it sounding salesy, right?
yeah,
Because that's not the intent. The intent is like, yeah, it really can be helpful, and here's why. And I think the big piece that I took away from that was the accountability. Look, you can go to the gym and you can pay $160 a week for a personal trainer, and really what you're paying for is for them to keep you accountable, right? Yeah, there's some early stuff where they're going to help you figure out what the movements are and all of that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, the movements in these videos aren't anything super complex. They're not something that you really can't learn and really can't sense if you're doing correct. What you're really paying all that money to the trainer for is, is just so that you're accountable. So, if I can be here to keep you accountable, that's the key.
And the thing is too, is like, you're such a genuine person. If you just are you and you just tell people, listen, like I am doing this because this stuff works. Like it's awesome. We have this really cool group. It's to keep you accountable. Like, sure, P90X is available. You can go, but it's 90 days. It's intense. It's hard. It's hard to stay committed. Life happens. But I'm going to help you stay committed, and I'm going to answer all the questions that you have. And so if you're just talking to people like that in terms of, I just want to help you, like people sense that. And the thing is like, you're definitely going to hear people object all the time. Like people are going to talk smack. It's stupid. It's this. I don't want that. I mean, typically it's their own objection against themselves. You just can't take it personal. I mean, that's one of the biggest things that I've learned is like, they're not objecting to me. They're objecting to themselves. And I just let people know, listen, I will be here. You want to join me next month? I have a group next month. You want to join me in February? I have a group in February. I just know this works and I want to help you. I will be ready to help you whenever you're ready. So, you're just always kind of explaining it that way. And yeah, I mean, you can, set up your groups based on, and it's going to be like it'll be a little bit of a trial and error in the beginning, because you'll start to see like, who's attracted to this? What's my market like? How are the people participating in the challenge groups? Each challenge group will be different. There'll be people like, I've had challenge group, my very first challenge group. I'm not kidding you. I think I did really great. I had like 6 or 7 of my friends in the group. It was great. I think that I had engagement like 4 days. I was posting every single day and nobody posted at all. It was like dead silence, and it went on for 90 days. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. And then I have had other challenge groups where like I sit for an hour at night looking at all of the comments and everybody posting and commenting and excited for each other. So it just goes back and forth, but you'll kind of find like you'll get into a group when you get to know the people in your groups. For the most part, most of my challenge groups, after that, they were never like that. I changed everything around. It was a learning experience for sure. But you kind of just learn the type of people that are in there. And then you get creative. You can go back to the team page and be like, listen, I've added coaches to my challenge groups just to be like, can you just help me? Can you help me get people engaged or whatever. The good thing is this time of year is most people are starting to, they're going to be engaged because they're ready to start their New Year's resolutions and all those things. So as far as challenge group goes, did I answer? Do you have more questions with that, Ken? I know you said you had some questions.
Let me see. No, I think we're good.
Okay. So just to kind of reiterate too, I know it's a little bit confusing because Beachbody talks about the Beachbody challenge and then there's the Facebook challenge groups. Everything's pretty separate. There are ways to have buddies and different things on the Team Beachbody website. I don't use that. I just funnel everybody to Facebook and put them, that's like my information hub, and I create all my groups through there.
That was one of the confusing, sorry.
Go ahead.
That was one of the confusing things for me because it was like, there are these two separate entities and
yeah.
I'm thinking I'm going to do it through Facebook, but I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to I ignore one side and take care of the other side type thing? So I'm glad you said that. So.
Well, you can get buddies through your Team Beachbody page. And I would definitely, if there are people that request you and you're not I would just funnel them to Facebook. I will tell you in the future. So just kind of a little bit of a backstory. The Beachbody, the challenge group, I don't know who made that up. It was like a coach in the network made up a challenge group. And then they started creating all these curriculums and it evolved into what it was. So when a Beachbody originally started, they did just use all these message boards and all the coaches helped through there. And that's kind of why it's a separate entity. But Beachbody understands what's going on and they're actually creating an app that is going to be a challenge group app. So it's going to be an information hub because there is somewhat of a risk with Facebook because Facebook could delete your stuff if they wanted to. If they didn't like it, they could just delete it. It's not likely to happen, but Beachbody is trying to connect those two. So it will be sort of an evolution as time goes on to see how that plays out. I don't know how that's going to go. I don't know if I want to run two groups, like run from Facebook, run through the Beachbody app. We'll see how it works. But they did do they let some of the coaches try it out. So the cool thing about this company is they're always listening to the network. They're making decisions based on what the coaches are seeing in the field and letting us test things and figure things out. And they really want us to be successful. So just keep your eyes peeled for that. That will be connected. The one thing that you do want to always talk to your customers about is the Beachbody challenge is, and I think that's how it all came about. I actually don't call it a challenge. I call it a health and fitness accountability group because people are like, challenge, like, what does that mean? So I always invite people to my health and fitness accountability group. So that might alleviate some confusion, but the Beachbody challenge, when they create their profile, if they submit, and you should too, I encourage you all to do this, submit your before and after pictures and tell your results after you finish a program. They're eligible to win money. $500 is given every day, $1,000 is given every week, and I think $5,000 a month. And then $100,000 is given to a male and a female in 3 different age categories. They award it at Summit in the summer. So you're eligible to win that money, and then you also get a free t-shirt. So if you complete a program, which is awesome. When I completed Insanity, I think that I just did it for the t-shirt because I wanted to say that I completed it just to wear the t-shirt. I was really proud to submit those results, but it's pretty cool because you get a free t-shirt and then you have the chance to win. And you can submit over and over and over again. And you can always use your before picture. That's your before picture that started when you first started. And you can say, I did this program, this program, this program, this program, and here are my results. There have been people that have won that have done like 5 programs, but their results over time are amazing. So I always try to get my customers to make sure they submit results and they can win money, which is super cool. The other thing on that note too is keep your eye out because Beachbody is announcing those winners every day. And so as you become a coach, as you progress in your coaching career, you want to start building an arsenal of success stories. So if you have 3 to 5, good success stories that you can share with people, it's a really good tool to have on hand. You have a new success story that comes out every single day. So it's pretty amazing because we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of success stories to share with people, right? Because this stuff works. So, and it's proof, it's visual. You can see it. You can see the before and afters, and you can see what happens to these people. And this is just a side note to tell you guys, because I think this is super cool. I was on the phone with a new coach today, and she was reaching out to her family, telling them that she was coaching and doing Shakeology. She reached out to her sister-in-law, who's pretty sick with some autoimmune stuff, Crohn's, colitis, and that kind of stuff. She's been drinking Shakeology. She was drinking it already. She's like, oh yeah, I didn't tell you, I was already drinking it. But it was recommended to her by her doctor, which I thought was really cool. And it has saved her. Like, the doctor told her, you are on the strongest medicine for what you're going through. You're going to have to have a colostomy bag at this point if you don't do better. And she said Shakeology has changed her life. So I just think that's a really cool success story. And it speaks volumes that her doctor is the one that recommended it. So I don't know who he is. He's in upstate New York or something like that. But anyways, that's just a little side note that I learned today, which I thought was pretty cool. Just touching for a second on your niche market, this is going to be a little bit, it'll be a little bit of trial and error as you begin your coaching career, but you really want to think about it in terms of your own demographic and and remember that like attracts like. So you always want to be true to you. So it's a great idea to follow top coaches, to follow successful coaches, but you're not necessarily going to be posting about what a new mom is doing if you're not a new mom, right? So, my target has changed because I just got married. I just had a baby. So now I have this whole other target market of moms that are stay-at-home moms, because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I used to be a single working girl. I had different target market. My posts were different. So you want to think about your own demographic. What age are you? Where do you live? What kind of things do you like? What workouts do you like? What are your struggles? So for me, as an example, I have an autoimmune disease that I've had my entire life that has impacted me in numerous ways. It's impacted my diet. I've gotten a gluten intolerance. So now that's part of my market is a gluten intolerance. I have an autoimmune disease. That's part of my market. I have psoriasis. I'm a new mom. I'm a newlywed. I have a brand new baby. I am a nursing mom. I used to work as an occupational therapist. So I'm an OT. I have a professional degree in the healthcare field. So these are all different things that describe me, but I also love insanity. I'm an insaniac. I love intense workouts. That's my thing. That's what drives me. That makes me crazy. Like, I love that. I loved cycle class. I love the beach. I'm strong in my faith. I'm a Christian. I share those things. So you want to kind of think about the things what do you enjoy seeing on Facebook? What are you attracted to? And that's going to be your target market. Those are going to be the people that you're talking to, and you're kind of establishing this niche. Like, what makes me different? What makes me stand out? And everybody has something to offer. And a lot of times what you have to offer is your biggest struggles. And it's really hard because it's really hard to share those vulnerabilities, but those are the people that you're going to relate to. So for example, my autoimmune disease, I kept it hidden. I never really talked about how much it bothered me or what I was going through. But when I started talking about it, I had people reaching out to me like, I completely understand where you're coming from, what has helped you, those kinds of things. So sometimes it's the things that we're hiding behind that we don't want anybody to see that really helps to attract your market, because you have something to offer, you have a solution for them, and these people understand you and can relate to you. And then it's kind of cool because you actually are it's one of those things like, it sounds silly, but it's like, oh, you have psoriasis, we're friends. Oh, you're from Pittsburgh, we're friends. Like, it's just one of those things, like, you get each other, you understand. And then you bring those people on your team. Most of the coaches on my team are insaniacs. Like, they love Shanti and insanity. Like, they just are cardio maniacs because that's what I am. That's what I like. So we relate in that way. So again, as time goes on, you kind of, and I don't only attract those people. I still have customers that are beginners. I still have coaches that, maybe are a little bit, different than me, but you want to always be thinking about that with your market, because that's who you're going to attract. If you're posting about, here's a good example. Melanie, who is the top coach, she talks about this one a lot. I think it's pretty funny. So she created, this was a few years ago, she created this, it was spring break time. And she's like, oh yeah, we're going to do Brazil butt lift. Like, this is going to be awesome. Spring break, Brazil butt lift. Everybody wants to get a Brazil booty, for spring break. She's like, my market was moms. Like, no moms cared about Brazil butt lift and getting a nice butt for spring break because they weren't going on spring break. So I got nobody interested in the challenge group. I didn't sell any challenge packs for it. Nobody cared. Because those weren't the people that were watching her. There weren't spring break girls watching Melanie Mitro be a Beachbody coach, right? She has had her second baby. She's trying to lose her mom weight and figure out how to be, a working mom at home. Like, those people aren't looking at her and they don't necessarily find value in what she has to offer. So I always think that's a funny example, and I think about it sometimes because it really is true. So you have to think about those when you're marketing yourself. As far as, so I'm going to move on to Success Club. So just so you know, with Success Club, you get 2 Success Club points when you sell a challenge pack, and you get 1 Success Club point when you sell Shakeology Home Direct, or I was going to say on demand, but it's not on demand. That's different. Shakeology Home Direct. So if someone does purchase Shakeology from you, make sure that they do check the Home Direct option. They do, and it's auto shipping, it's called. They do get a discount on shipping. It's only $2. I think it's like $5 off with the shipping, so it's worth it. If they are skeptical about the second shipment, they can cancel before the second shipment comes. So just make sure that they know that. When they do purchase a challenge pack, they are automatically on that second shipment. So just make sure when you're talking to your new customers that you explain that to them. Listen, you bought on the 23rd. Your next shipment is going to ship on the 23rd. And it's a good idea to, write down to the, you can tell them, hey, listen, a week before your next shipment's going to come out. Just wanted to let you know, here are your options. So this is a complete sidebar, but if you do have someone that is, what kind of segues into our Emerald talk, but if you do have someone that is drinking Shakeology and they really like it and they're about to get their second month, I would have them sign up as a discount coach because they'll get a discount on their shake in that second month. And then that's going to help your business grow. So those are a couple conversations you want to have. So you can say, listen, your auto ship is coming in a week. And you've been talking to them. They're in your challenge group more than likely. You know how they feel about Shakeology. I mean, if they don't want to do it, they're hating it, which usually is not the case, they'll just cancel it. But it's always a good idea to be proactive about that and just explain that to people initially so they have that expectation up front. Success Club is really, and you see it already, I'm sure, in the team pages. We talk a lot about it. We recognize people that hit Success Club. It is the foundation of growing your business. So it's the simplest way to know that your business is growing every single month. And it's also the simplest way to teach duplication in your teams, which is ultimately what you want. So the company offers Success Club 5 for 5 points, and that'll get you any of the prizes that they do offer. So this month was a little unique because they did a team challenge. So you won prizes based on what your team did. But typically every month, and I'm sure the email went out and I can't remember what the December Success Club prize is, but there's always a prize. So they send free shirts, free personal development books. I have so much Beachbody swag. I don't know. It's always good stuff. So it's always worth getting the Success Club. But you want to always put that. It's not it's not a what, like if I'm going to, it's a non-negotiable in your business. It's what date am I going to have Success Club 5 by, at least Success Club 5. If you really want to grow your business, you want to be aiming for Success Club 10, and it's completely doable. You're just bringing in 3 new customers. So if you sell 2 challenge packs and a Shakeology HD, that'll get you to Success Club 5. If you sell 3 challenge packs, that'll get you to Success Club 6. If you sell 5 challenge packs, that'll get you to Success Club 10. So again,
is it on a monthly basis?
Yes, it'll reset every month.
Okay. So basically sell enough to bring in 5 to 10 points per month.
Yep.
Okay.
Minimally 5. Yeah. So you can think about it as like helping 3 to 6 people every month.
New people.
Yeah. So you can only get Success Club points from new customers. Sometimes they'll still give you points if it's like a year ago someone buys a challenge. They can't, I don't know, they can't keep up with it, but I've had points taken away. Like they've given them to me and then they take it away because they're like, oh wait, you already sold a challenge back to that customer. But it does happen because people fall off and then a new program comes out and they're like, oh, I want that. So
right. So even someone like you who's been working at this for quite some time, right, and you're 5-star diamond, it's still important for you to just not sit back and cruise on your coaches, but it's still important for you to go out and bring in your own customers. So you're hitting Success Club yourself still.
Yeah. I've hit Success Club for 30 months, I think it is. So when I first started, I've hit it every month except 2 since I started, but it was like my January, February. What did I miss? I missed March and I missed May, or I missed February and I missed April. I missed 2 months or something, but the company actually rewards you too. So if you get actually your first 3 months of as a coach, if you hit them in a row. So like, Ken, you still are eligible. You signed up in October, right? Was it October?
It definitely wasn't September.
Okay, so maybe it was November.
I'm close to missing out on it, and I don't think it's going to happen. So.
Well,
but
I'll just explain anyways. But you might still be eligible. It depends on when you signed up. If you signed up in November, you could still be good. So it's the month that you sign up or the month after. So let's say you sign up in October. If you hit it in October, then you need to hit it 3 consecutive months. So October, November, December. If you sign up in October and you miss, you still have November, December, and January. So it's 3 consecutive months that you hit it. You get a free ticket to Summit. So your first month you hit it, you get a free, you get a phone call with Carl Deichler that's exclusive for you and your coach. And then your third month you get a free ticket, which is like a $200 value. So like Sarah Potter earned her ticket to Summit because she hit it 3 months in a row when she started. So it's a good incentive. And then you also will get to get the prizes that are every month too. So it's really, so you hit Success Club by doing the 3 vital behaviors, inviting people every day, doing your personal development, and being a product of the product. Typically what I find is that 1 in 10 or 2 in 10, actually 2 in 10 invites sign for a challenge group or a challenge pack. So minimally 30 invites a month will get you to your Success Club. So if you want to hit Success Club 10, you're going to be inviting 60 people a month. So it seems like a big number, but it's really not. If you do break it down by day, that's only 1 invite a day. So I typically try to invite 3 to 5 people a day, including follow-ups. And you want to be adding new people to your network all the time. So if you're always adding new people consistently on a daily basis, you're always going to have somebody to invite. You're going to have someone to invite. When you very first start, the best thing you can do is make the list of 100. You go through that memory jogger that the 7-day quick start goes through and write down those 100 people and just go down through your list. You don't have to invite 100 people in a day, but just go down through your list, start reconnecting with those people, reach out to 3 people a day. And that's 90 people in a month. You'll have Success Club 10. I guarantee you.
That was going to be my other question was,
Go ahead.
what do you think the best way to approach that is? Like, you have your list of 100 and you kind of, invite 3 a day, or you blast them all at once.
No, because what you want to do is, and this is from experience, you know what I did when I first started? I actually, well, I sent a big email to my close friends, like, and they all saw that they were on it. And we always have a big email. So like, there's like 10 of us I went to college with, and I sent an email to them. It was a mass email, but that's how we communicate. Like, I'm just like, hey guys, listen to this thing I'm doing. Anybody want to hear? I mean, it was just like, I'm just trying this thing. I also did that with my family because, again, like, my family will do a mass invite, and they know that, like, I genuinely, they want to support me. It's not like this cold sales thing. But what I did was I sent like mass Facebook messages to people, like huge messages. And people were like, leave conversation. This was 3 years ago. Don't do that. It's not a good idea. Although I did get some customers from it, because then they started watching me. They're like, oh, what are you doing? But I also got some like pissed off people that are like, really, you're so annoying. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. But the reason why I say like 3 a day is because you want to have a relationship established with them already. So it's going to be a conversation. It's going to take time. It's going to go back and forth. So if you're sending 100, I don't know, you probably don't, maybe you have time to sit down for 8 hours and send 100 messages and then respond, because you want to have a conversation, and then you want to get back to them. So, and if you are doing just like a huge spammed message, it's obvious. I do copy and paste a lot. So I will say, I'll copy and paste the majority of the conversation, but I don't, but I do tailor it to them. I kind of look at their profile page, what's going on with their life, or if it's somebody that I already know, I do it that way. But I would recommend like 3 to 5 a day, because you can manage those conversations and you can kind of be attentive to, because you'll lose track of people. And then it'll be obvious that you kind of sent this. But again, like you have it, like, you have to kind of think about your situation. Like, you have a training group of how many people? Like, you have a training group of 50 people, and that's how you communicate with them. Right. Then absolutely, I would send a message that was big and be like, listen guys, this is what I'm doing. I want you all to be in my accountability group. But they're already in a relationship with you. They already trust you. You've already built that. They're already your clients. So I think that situation is a little different.
I think what I'm going to try to do is reach out to that group soon in December. Like, I already sent, an email to that group saying, hey, this is kind of what I'm doing, and this is the thing. Now that I've listened to more of these calls and got some more ideas, and have a little bit of a better feel for the other products that are out there, right? Because I was just doing P90X myself before. I think I really want to try to pull something together for January, right?
Yeah.
And maybe even like a little bit of a larger group, and then maybe even like a smaller group of like, some guys that I know that won't want to do it with, a bunch of pregnant moms. Or,
exactly. Oh yeah.
It's market, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's kind of where my focus is going to be, is to really start to ramp things up kind of toward the end of the year here. Because I know I've been slow starting.
Well, I mean, and it's all, kind of what you want to make of it. And it's why we talk about Success Club, because if you can set that benchmark for yourself, and that's always what I've gone to, my life has gotten crazy over the past 3 years. I worked full time and did this business, and there were times when it was crazy, but I always said to myself, because this is what the leaders before me told me, hit Success Club and your business will always grow, because you're always bringing new people in, and those people are going to, some will transform into coaches that come onto your team, and then you're building and building. So just set that benchmark for yourself.
From a coaching standpoint too, because that's kind of like in my mind, right? I'm ping-ponging back and forth, like, okay, focus on getting coaches, focus on getting customers, where to go. Do you know anybody or any stories that success stories where people sort of in my situation who, have a network of personal trainers and friends, have really sort of focused on bringing them in as coaches too. You know, do you see that a lot out there, or, you know, not so much yet? I don't know. Does that make sense what I'm asking?
Yep, absolutely. And I have a perfect call for you to listen to. So there is a coach in the network, and I'll share it in our Coach Basics because it's good information for anyone. Her name is Trina Gray, and she owns her own gym, and she works her business a little different. She does run challenge groups. She doesn't run them monthly. They're like 10-day groups. But anyways, what she does is she markets to gyms and personal trainers.
Mm-hmm.
And so what she explains is, so you're a personal trainer, right? You can only make so much money. So what you can do is, if you have this Shakeology, so you want to market the performance line. This is where your focus will be. It won't be on the programs. It's going to be on Shakeology and the performance line. So we'll just say Shakeology, for instance. So if you have these personal trainer friends, what you want to do is you want to sign them as coaches, and then they can sign their customers up on Shakeology on demand. Or I keep saying that, on Home Direct. And they can utilize that as their recovery shake, and she gives you a little bit of, different ideas too. Like, you can create this nutrition program for them, but this is part of what they're incorporating in there.
Mm-hmm.
So your trainers are actually the coaches, and then their customers are signing up onto the Shakeology.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I've been kicking around in my mind, like how to market toward those folks, and, and toward the personal trainers. And even on top of, like, that's a big piece of it, the supplements. I think the other big piece of it is, like, hey, you've only got so many hours a day, right? And, so how can you even, if you want to incorporate programs, right, use that to expand your base at some point too, right?
Yeah. So, and this call will be perfect for you. I think it'll answer all of your questions. So she owns her own gym, so she has a little bit of levity of what she can do, right? Because, if you're going into an LA Fitness, like, they're not going to do Shakeology and all that. It's going to be a side thing. But what she does is she'll set up accountability groups for, like, her clients, or she teaches classes. She doesn't do the personal training. She has personal trainers that work for her, but, like, she teaches classes. So she'll say, I'm also doing this special accountability group, and she'll put them in there. So she'll talk about some of the programs that way, in addition to what they're doing. But when she markets to personal trainers, she doesn't ever, you are a fan of the program, so you were never offended, but personal trainers are, they can be like, if you come in and tell them, like, you need to do they need to do Beachbody programs, they're going to be like, whoa, like, no, that's not what we're talking about. So you really just want to kind of focus it on, like, the Shakeology and how Shakeology can add money to their paycheck. So, that's a $30 extra a month customer that they're getting money to personally train, but you're also helping them to with their nutrition. So it's a way for personal trainers to increase their income without increasing their hours.
Yeah, got it.
So it's honestly something that my husband, he wants to leave his full-time job and actually focus on Beachbody. And that's kind of the avenue that we're going to take, is to approach these gyms. Because a gym owner, like, if you know any private gym owners, what they can do is you can set them up as the coach. And there are coaches in the network that I know, if you ever hear his name's Vito LaFata. So, and I can send it to you. You may want to start following him.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he is actually under Trina, but he's also a gym owner. And I think he sells Shakeology out of his in vending machines.
What's his last name?
It's called LaFata. It's LaFata. Vito is his first name. He's going to do a call for us too, because Melanie is friends with him. And I've been trying to get Melanie to, I was trying to get him on the phone with my husband. I'm like, can you please just ask him if he'll talk to us? He's going to do, like, a mastermind call with just a few select people. And I really want it to be people that are interested in going that route. So I will absolutely put you on that list to be part of that, so you can have questions and everything like that. I think Sarah will be a good person too, because I know that that's her expertise too. So there are definitely different ways to go about, and that's definitely how you'll run your business a little bit different, because that's who your market is. So I don't have all of the answers to that, but I will give you that call, and I think that'll answer a ton of your questions and really get your mind spinning. The way that Trina is she's amazing. She's super duper successful and just a really down to earth, awesome person. So she's been running her own gym for a long time, and she basically just goes into gym owners and tells them, like, you want to make more money? I'll teach you how to make more money without increasing the membership fees. You can make more money per member, and you can get creative with that. You can create like a VIP, and you can do something with this with your clients too. Like, if you're a VIP client, you're going to get this additional service. So if you're a Shakeology on Home Direct, this is the additional service you'll get from me, and you can start, meal planning and stuff. So Ken, what I would do is I would kind of take a look at what you already do. And if I had to guess, there's probably a lot of free service that you offer people, which is great. But at the same time, you want to be compensated for what you're doing. So you can spin things a little bit and just say, if you want to be a VIP customer, this is the additional service you'll get from me, in addition to, obviously they're getting it's kind of essentially, it's still a free, because they're getting the product, like they're getting Shakeology,
right?
But it's just a perk that you can offer them, an extra, and the accountability group is that perk too. It could be that. So I'll send you that call. I think it'll be really good for you.
Awesome.
So when you bring in new customers and you bring in new coaches, you're always talking about Success Club. You're going to hear that over and over and over again, because it's going to be the basic building for your business. And again, it's just easy to do. It's so easy to teach duplication. And that's how, if you can teach your coaches and they can teach their coaches, that's just going to duplicate. And that's what multi-level marketing is. If you become an expert in duplicating your business, that's how you're successful. So you want to keep things as simple as possible, which Success Club does. If you do the 3 vital behaviors, which are very simple, you'll hit Success Club. The company rewards you if you have 12 months in a row of Success Club and 24 months in a row. So you get special seating at Summit, you get medals. So the rewards come at Summit, but they recognize you. And I think they're going to start recognizing you too on a more corporate level just now. And I recognize you, the team recognizes you. So, and your coaches, when you start building your team, they're watching you. So I guarantee you that my coaches are looking at me like, is she hitting Success Club? She keeps telling us to do it. So is she doing it? And so if you're not leading by example, your coaches aren't going to do it either. So just the last thing to go over is just, I wanted to go over Emerald with you and the importance of rank advancing to Emerald. So Emerald rank is your first advancement in the business, and you want to get there as soon as possible. And here's why. So with Emerald, it means you have 2 coaches, 1 on each leg, and the legs get a little confusing, and your upline or myself can help you walk through coach placement when you're ready, because it all depends on where you're placed, and strategy and everything like that comes into play. But in order to be Emerald, you want to have 1 on each side. I always recommend signing up a spouse as soon as possible if you are building this business, because eventually your spouse is going to become another business center that you can work, and you basically double dip with your volume, right? So if your spouse starts bringing in, you start building that business. Once your business gets a little bigger, you start building your spouse's business, and they have volume. Well, their volume, they're going to make money on their volume and their coaches, but that's going to trickle up to you. So you want to have your spouse at the top of that organization so that you can compound and double your success with that. As far as like legalities go with that in the company, you are allowed to have 3 people on 1 credit card with the coach fees and like Shakeology Home Direct. And they can be a parent, a spouse, or a child over 18. So for instance, I have my mom as a coach on one of my legs, and I pay her fee and I manage her business, and it comes under my name, and it's completely legal because it's my mom. So I use her business for different reasons with ranking. I signed up my mom when I first started. I wasn't married or anything then. So I started her, and now she's high up in my business, right? So all this volume has accumulated. So eventually when I do work her business, it's going to be easier because I've already accumulated volume. And plus everything that's worked through her, again, she gets compensated for, but so do I. So there's your one coach right there, your spouse. Okay. So you want to sign your spouse or a parent or whatever. If you do have parents, again, I have my sister's a coach, my mom's a coach, my dad's a coach, my mother-in-law is a coach, my husband is a coach, and they're all drinking Shakeology. So they should be coaches. Like, there's no reason to not be a coach when you drink Shakeology, because you're getting the discount. You're saving $15 a month when you're a coach, and there's no catch to it. Mm-hmm. So when they sign up with the challenge pack, their coach fee is waived. They pay a coach. I call it a membership fee. People get freaked out when they hear coach fee. Membership fee is $16, $15.95. Shakeology, they get 25% off. And then they get 25% off any other program, which people that are loyal Shakeology drinkers are buying all the new programs that come out. So they're saving money there. So what happens when you rank advanced to Emerald? A few awesome things. First, when you hit Success Club and you are an Emerald ranking coach, you get free leads. The company gives you free customers. So what that means is, you've seen the infomercials. Beachbody has held the number one spot in infomercials between P90X and T25 and 21 Day Fix, which is actually, if you know anything about the infomercial world, is unheard of that they've held that spot. But that's why you see them run so many times. Those customers that call in, they get a free coach assigned to them. So anybody that's purchasing these programs from the infomercial is getting a coach. They're getting assigned a coach, right? If you hit Success Club, you're getting that person. They already know and are expecting you to contact them because they've been told throughout the purchasing process that they have a free coach. So you get their email and their home address and their phone number. So, and there are things that we'll go through in Coach Basics to teach you how to contact those leads. There's all kinds of training in the back office. My recommendation is to make it as personal as possible. I do phone calls, and I'm actually doing personal gifts for Christmas. I'm sending to loyal customers of mine that have been doing Shakeology. And I'm sending them Shakeology shakers and bags. And, you can just send them a handwritten card. You can send them a business card. But I typically just reach out to them and say, hey, listen, connect with me on Facebook. I run these free groups, would love to have you. You can see what program they ordered so that it'll show, they got hip hop abs. Reach out to them. How's it going? Do you like the program? What can I help you with? Here's how I can support you. And you can talk to them about Shakeology if they're not doing Shakeology. So when you hit Success Club 5, you're just getting a Success Club. You're getting a lead that it either just signed up on you also get them from Team Beachbody. So some people go into beachbody.com or Team Beachbody just because they hear about our products and they just create a free account, but they don't have a coach that directed them. So with Success Club 5 and Emerald rank, you receive free leads. You won't make commission off of them, but you will if they order something again. You'll make that commission, but their initial purchase, if they just sign up for a free membership or they purchase the program, you don't get that commission originally, but you'll get any future purchases. They're on your customer list. If you hit Success Club 10 and you are an Emerald coach, you get Shakeology leads, which this is free money. If you're consistently hitting Success Club 10, you're making $100 to $200, usually at least. Katie was going to post what her commissions were with that in free money. So Shakeology, the network, the corporation promised that Shakeology would never be available other than through the network. So it won't be on an infomercial. It will never be on the shelves of Walmart. if you see it on Amazon or Craigslist, it's illegally being sold. If you see it on eBay, it's illegally being sold, and you can tell, you can flag that to Beachbody and they will take it down. So it's only going to be sold through the network, which means that anybody that goes on and buys it, they get a coach, and a coach earns that money. So if they buy a challenge pack, you're getting that money. I mean, these are people that it's just free leads. So it's really, really, really worth becoming an Emerald coach and hitting Success Club for those things alone, because you're just getting free people. The $100,000 winner 2 years ago was a Success Club lead. And she said that. I got a postcard in the mail from my coach, and she's like, I never answered the emails, but I got a postcard. And, you know, some people, their email will go to their junk food. Am I hungry? Freudian slip there. Their junk mail, or, you know, you want to just kind of make it an appealing title. Or like I said, I like to call people. You know, some people you won't get back to you. Some people you'll have to contact like 3 or 4 times, but they're always in your contact list. So like I said, I send out regular emails about the launches. I am sending personal notes. So it's kind of however you want to service your customers. But when you become Emerald, you get those free leads. So worth it. The other thing that happens when you become Emerald is you get a cycle bonus. So this is the residual income. This is where you make income from not doing anything. I shouldn't say it like that, but this is where you make income from building your team. So I created this really sad looking visual for you to try to explain it, because it gets a little confusing. So I'm gonna share it with you here. So this is just breaking it down really simply. So I put Ken here at the top. So when Ken, can you guys see this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when Ken signs Coach A and B, right? He's an Emerald coach. So when Coach A has 100, these numbers are not dollars, they're volume points. So just for making it simple, we'll say Shakeology. Shakeology is actually 90 PV, but so when Coach A has 90 PV in volume under them, so that's either from either they purchased Shakeology or they sold Shakeology. We'll say 100. So they have 100 PV. So that this is either their volume of their own purchase of Shakeology, or they've sold it. And then Coach B has 200. So the ratio is 1 to 2. So one side needs 100 and the other side needs 200. You get $14 with that cycle. So maybe it doesn't seem like a lot, but let's say, so now you're Emerald and you've taught both Coach A and B that they need to be Emerald coaches. So now they've signed up 2 coaches, and under Coach A, they've each have Shakeology. So they're 100, 100, and 100 from Coach A. And this is just in a week, right? This is not monthly. This is just weekly. So that's 300 on that side. And then the other side is 400. So now you've cycled twice. And this is just from your team promoting Shakeology. So you've now made $28 in a week from building a team. And your team, you're just duplicating what you're doing. So what happens though is you have what's called a weak leg and a strong leg. And your strong leg is the leg that you're on within the organization that coaches get automatically put under you. They're not your coaches. Like Ken, you were asking me about that with that coach. Mm-hmm. They're not your coaches, but the volume that they produce will benefit you. So you always have to build one side. So let's say the Coach B side is Ken's strong leg. Now I could start putting coaches under there. Sarah could be putting coaches under there. That volume is going to build and build. So that volume could build to 800 and Ken doesn't even have any coaches under there, but that volume's at 800 and he has built the other side. And so that volume's at 600 and now he's cycling 4 times. Does that make sense? Does this visual help? Does that make sense?
A little bit. Could you say what you mean by cycling again?
Sure. So one cycle as an Emerald coach equals $14. And it's a ratio. It's a 1-to-2 ratio. So it's 100 in volume points on one side to 200 on the other side.
Okay.
So when your coach sells, and there's volume associated with every product. So if you look, when you sign on as a coach in the coach, if you just go to the main Team Beachbody page and you sign on, you'll see your coach discount with all your products when you click on anything, and you can take a look and see what the volume is associated with it. So like Shakeology is 90 PV in volume. So every time a Shakeology is purchased from a coach of yours, and any coaches or customers that are under you, that's contributing to your volume.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you also, because you have that strong leg, you're accumulating volume without doing anything, essentially. It's just kind of where you're put in the organization. So it's this ratio of 100 to 200. So every week your volume, and you can pull it up in the back office, it shows you where your volume is every week. It's not going to be much when you first start, because you don't have a lot of people under you, and you don't, if you don't have coaches yet, you're not going to see that volume yet. You have to start having coaches to see volume. You can see personal volume. Those are all your retail sales. So if you sold 3, okay, so for instance, like your personal volume, let's say you sold 3 Shakeology shakes. That's 270 volume on your personal volume. That contributes to my team volume. So that trickles up to me. So if I have 10 coaches that are each selling 3 bags of Shakeology, I'm making 2,700 volume points. So that it compounds. So 2,700 on one side and 10,000 on the other side, because let's say that my other leg is big because I've been in it for a while and there's all these coaches that are underneath me. 27, divided by 10,000, I'm cycling a lot of times. So it doesn't seem like a lot when you first start, but when you start building, you start to cycle 100 times.
So you're always comparing the one leg to the other in a ratio, and cycles being like, basically it would be $14 for every 300 on either leg. I mean, that maybe they're shared, so to speak, like you have the coach A, coach B. So for each tier that you have going there, you can create a bonus. For every 300 you might have, you get a $14 bonus on that. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's pretty much a good way to look at it. Right. It can bounce back and forth depending on how your legs are. Like you're strong. We say strong and weak legs because everybody has a strong leg. So Ken, I think your strong leg is your left leg. So anybody that I put on that side, any coaches that I place, he'll benefit from. So he'll benefit from those volume points. But also any coaches that come in, any coaches that are on that side that come in after him too. So I don't know if that makes sense. So that's why I like placement. That's why it's really important to get your spouse in now.
Right.
Because if you wait, then there's all this volume up here that they missed out on. So, I mean, is this making more sense? There are videos in the online office. It's hard when you don't have a numbers associated with it. I was trying to break it down. And it carries over too. So these numbers might not be, is he okay? Oh, 4.
4 ounces?
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't eat it all yet?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Ready.
Okay. Sorry.
That's great. Do you have to wrap up soon?
Yeah, he's all right. He's eating, but he's bringing him. What are you doing?
Hello.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is Logan.
Hey, buddy.
Hi. He's looking at me.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hey.
I want to eat.
I forget
I
what
don't
babies
blame
look
you.
like.
So do I.
I know that it's nice because he's immobile. Like he stays where I put him.
That's
So,
what
those days
we
when
were all excited when Jackson was starting to walk, and then my friend said, "Oh, when he saw the video, he's like, hurry up, push him back down.
Yeah, I know. I'm like thinking, oh, like my Christmas tree looks great. This will be the last year it looks great. You know, I'm like, I'm going to take a shower. Okay. He will stay right here in this bouncy seat. And my workouts too. Like he'll hang out for my workout, but that's definitely not going to stay put. He'll definitely not stay put for long. That's going to have a nap time thing. So I'm kind of taking advantage of it right now. But what I was going to say is these numbers, I'm like kind of making them perfect, but everything rolls over week by week. So let's say you cycle, you have 240 and you have 150. That's only going to get you one cycle, but that 40 from that week and the 50, they're going to roll over to the next week.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So it's just this ratio. It's just not a 1-to-1 thing. I think that just kind of makes it a little challenging.
Okay. I think I got it. Does any of the volume that we've accumulated so far roll over, or nothing until we get coaches? Like I have 90, right, from my own Shakeology. Well, does that disappear, or when I finally get coaches, will I have that 90 still?
So the 90, your personal volume is not going to impact your cycle.
Oh,
it's
okay.
whatever's on your team.
I see. Yeah, so you have to have coaches. Okay, it makes.
So it'll accumulate like with your wife. Like if you added your wife and you only had one coach, yeah, that'll count towards your volume once you get that other coach.
Okay.
So you automatically want to put your spouse on the strong leg, right? And that's the auto coach's side, like where people just get assigned to that through anybody upline, correct? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, so there are two schools of thought. You could put him on your weak leg. I personally think that on the strong leg, because you're just going to accumulate more volume. So once you decide to build that business, you can make money faster because now you only have that one leg to build, if that makes sense. So let's say you started and you had 10,000 in bonus, you had 10,000 in volume on a leg already. If you just started building that other leg, of course you need to have two coaches, but you have 10,000 in volume on your strong leg. Now, if you bring in 5,000 in volume on your weak leg, you're cycling 50 times. Does that make sense? So now you've made $14 times 50 on a weekly basis, if that makes sense. So I think that, and you can start, when you start to build, you're not going to build your spouse right away in the beginning, unless of course they want to work the business, then absolutely build them. But that volume will just accumulate faster when they're on the strong leg. And then when you're ready to start working them, you can build up the other leg and you'll start cycling faster.
Okay.
That makes sense. I know it's like super confusing. It took me so long to understand this until I started seeing the numbers on my own team.
I've watched a couple of videos and I'm like, it's starting to come together a little bit better. So
yeah. And so don't hesitate to ask questions when you have questions about volume or placement. So, I mean, I still go to my upline sometimes. I'm like, where do you think I should put this person? So, always ask about placement. Typically what I teach coaches is you want to get those coaches. You want it to be a stable Emerald organization. You want to get two coaches on each side. That'll keep you pretty stable. Because if you just sign a discount coach, they don't always stay active. They might postpone their Shakeology or cancel, and then they're not active, and you would lose rank. So if you can get 4 coaches, and then you want to kind of look at the way your legs are going. So if you have business builders, you always want to put those business builders on your weak leg, because that volume is going to build slower. So you always want to try to keep your legs even. And honestly, guys, this is where you make money. So I make all my money on team cycle bonus. My retail bonus has stayed consistent pretty much for the 3 years that I've been coaching. I hit Success Club every month. So that retail bonus is going to be at least around $200. I hit Success Club 5 to 10. So the retail is going to be, $200 to $500 a month. But my but I make over 6 figures a year now doing this. So that's all coming from cycle bonus. And then you actually will make what's called matching bonus too. So when your coaches start cycling, you actually make 10% of their cycle. So if you cycled $14, I would make $1.40 off that, which doesn't seem like a lot. But if my coaches start cycling $500, then I make $50. So I'm making, $100 to $200 extra dollars in matching bonus plus my cycle bonus. So there's all these benefits to helping your team. If you help your team grow, that's going to grow your income. So you always want to just be helping not just your personally sponsored, but you're deep in your downline too, because that's just going to grow everything. So, I mean, this business can be so lucrative. And I hesitate to say that initially when I first bring coaches in, because I don't want you to come in thinking that I'm going to make $1 million overnight. You can make a lot of money. It's just basically the direct reflection of how many people you help is how much money you will make. But if you consistently stick with it, like I said, my income has doubled every single year that I've been working. So, and I didn't grow fast. I'm 3 years in. Some people grow faster than me, but I consistently hit Success Club and I worked the business at least 10 hours a week. I work it more now because I do it full time. But when I first started, that's what I focused on. And over time, the business just compounded and grew and grew and grew. Melanie is the top coach. I don't know how much money she makes. I think it's probably, this is a conservative number, probably $50,000 to $60,000 a week. Not kidding. So, she's already made $1 million. She's in the Millionaire Club. So if you make $1 million cumulative with the company, this is before taxes, obviously, but with the company, you get in the Millionaire Club. She's been in there for over a year. Again, she's top coach. She has a huge organization, but there is no ceiling to your success. And the more that you help your team and your coaches be successful, the more you're successful. So that's what's cool about multi-level marketing, is that you want the people underneath you to do better than you, because if they do better than you, it's only going to help you. And you can't so Melanie, where she is in the organization, she's obviously doing better than her upline. So her upline is still, successful, but it's not like when you are in a corporation, like your manager doesn't want you to do better than them because they don't want you to take their job. Right. So they're always keeping you at like an arm's length. It's kind of how corporate America works. But in multi-level marketing, your upline wants you to do better than them because you're only going to help them, if that makes sense. So if you think about the culture of the company that way, you'll see why people are so successful and why the company is so awesome with the way that they reward us, because they know the more we reward, the more the coaches are going to work. The more your coach rewards you and recognizes you and helps you, the better that they're going to succeed too. So everybody wins. So it's a really cool thing to think about. And as you progress, as you rank advance, you have options for, and I talk about the money just because I'm motivated by money. I like to help people, obviously, but that was something that motivated me when I started to make this more of a job, because I'm like, wow, I can leave my full-time job, make more money, and work less hours. But when you rank advance, like when you become a 2-star diamond coach, you get a bonus every quarter. It's around $800. So you get $800 extra dollars. When you're a 5-star, it's about $25,000 to $3,000. When you're 10-star, it's about $13,000. When you're 15-star, it's about $30,000. So you're making a $30,000 bonus in a quarter. So that's $10,000 extra dollars a month. You do that for a year, and now you've made, it's actually maybe more like 50. It's like 30 to 50,000. And that's just basically you become a star diamond by how many diamonds you produce in your team. So it's just another rank advancement. But if you have 10 diamonds, coaches in your team that are building a business. So again, that's incentive for you to help your coaches to do more, because as they rank advanced, that's going to benefit you too. So there is a lot of money potential in here, and you will absolutely get there no matter how slow you go about it if you just stay consistent and grow every month. The more time you can put in, the more people you can help, the faster that it will grow. I mean, that's basically it in a nutshell, but there's no ceiling. Like, that's what's so cool, is and Beachbody is not stopping. Like, they're just getting started. So, the cool story I shared with you about the doctor, like, a doctor recommended it. Shakeology is starting to get traction now. People are starting to see it, and now there's so many stories. Everybody lives a fast life. So these at-home workouts, people are like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. People are getting results in 30 minutes. Why do I have a gym membership? So we're not going anywhere, and it's just the beginning. So you guys are in at a good time. Do you have any more questions for me? Anything about the launch or anything, the new program that came out? The group that I'm running, I don't know, it probably looked a little confusing to people. I'm doing kind of a test group with that, and I'll start it officially in January. I created an event just to get people excited and to kind of share information. So you can throw your coaches or your customers in that event page. I'm going to set up a link to the test group. We do these a little bit different with launches. So we make really big groups, and it's all focused on that program. So there's lots of coaches and customers, everybody doing the workout to get it going. And it's a test group because it's the first, everybody's doing it. So that ends up running a little different than the regular challenge groups. Did you have a question? Sorry, Ken. I didn't mean to.
No, I did not.
Did you get yours?
I did, yeah.
I think you're going to like it. I don't, have you done any of the on-demand ones?
There were free ones on demand, right?
Yeah.
No, I did not. So, and I wasn't gonna do it, but then I decided, I don't know. I decided that it sounded like something I wanted to try. So,
I think you're gonna like it. I think it's gonna be good for your market too, because
that's the main reason I decided to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the SSP? Is that what it's called? SSP training.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of that when I did it. I mean, I'm not a huge weightlifting person, but I know that I need to. So it's just going to be really cool for people to try a program that, it's never been done at home before. I mean, they've said that, like, this has never been an at-home workout. So it's going to appeal to men and women. Body Beast is mostly men, and it's probably mostly similar to that in terms of weight training. So I think it'll be good. And so I recommend all my coaches to always buy the programs, because you want to be able to do them and be able to talk about them and share. Even if it's, I bought Size. I'm not a huge dancer. I don't love to dance, but I wanted to do the program and just, I didn't do the full program, but I wanted to be able to talk to my customers about it. So you don't have to be a fan of every single workout. Body Beast is not my favorite. I have the program. I've done a few of the workouts. I don't love it. But I still know how to talk to those certain people about it. So if you guys have any questions about the launch or anything, just let me know. And I think that's it. If you guys don't have any questions, sorry, tonight was a little bit long.
No, it was informative. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So, Vicki, you can get on. So next week, we're going to kind of go backwards a little bit and start a little bit from the beginning. But next Tuesday, we'll start over with like week 1. So if you have any coaches or anything that want to get on, and if you have any coaches to add to the basics, just let me know.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, guys. I will chat with you soon. Thanks for giving me your time tonight.
No problem.
Thanks.
All right.
See ya.